going on, you guys? Today we're going to be learning the song Snow, Hey-O by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just love the Red Hot Chili Peppers so much, so let's get into it. You are watching Logan's Lessons. For the first shape, we will place our middle finger on the 6th fret of our A string, our ring finger on the 6th fret of our D, and our first finger on the 4th fret of our G. That is our first shape. Now in regards to our right hand, we will pick downwards on the A string, downwards on the D, upwards on the G, downwards again on the D. I'll do that slowly. Do that with me. Once more. Faster now. Faster again. Okay, so right there we hit that G string again, but what you do is you lift your middle and your third fingers on your left hand up, and you use your middle finger to hammer onto the 6th fret of your G string. Then you pull off. So, like that. Do that with me. Then, to wrap things up, what we do is place our middle finger on the 6th fret of our D string. You pick that D downwards and then up on the G. The last note is that upstroke on the G. So, I'll do that slowly again. Do that with me now. Again. A little faster. Again. Smidge faster again. Even faster. Again. And we'll keep ramping the speed up. And that's about full speed. And do you see this hand position that we have here? It's actually perfect to lead us into the second shape. All you have to do is place your third finger on the 7th fret of your A string. So it's this shape here. And you literally do the exact same picking. So down on the A, down on the D, up on the G, down on the D, then you hit the G again upwards, hammer on, pull off, hit the 6th fret of your D string on your D downwards, and then upwards on your G. So far them together. Do that with me. Again. Speeding it up a little bit. Faster even again. And again. About full speed. One more time. Okay, so the third shape is literally exactly the same as the second shape. It's just moved up a string. So your third finger should be on the 7th fret of your low E string, your middle finger on the 6th fret of your A, and your first finger on the 4th fret of your D string. Now, the picking on your right hand stays the same, but what we do is instead of using our middle finger to hammer onto the 6th fret of our D string, we are instead going to use our third finger. And then you also place your third finger there on the 6th fret of your A string. That'll make sense here in a second why, but first I want to drill this a few times. So do this with me slowly. Again. One more time. Faster now. Faster again. Full speed. Now in context. Couple more times. Again. Okay, so now that we have that ring finger on the 6th fret of our A string, what we're going to do is we're going to pick it again and slide it up to the 9th fret. And this shape is going to be the same as the second shape. Your third finger is going to be on the 9th fret of your A string, your middle finger on the 8th fret of your D, and your first finger on the 6th fret of our G string. It's like you just took the the second shape, and you slid it up. And the picking is going to be exactly the same too. And you're using your middle finger to hammer on for this shape. So the whole first time through this chord progression will sound like this. Do that with me. Again. A little faster. Again. One last time. That is the first time through the chord progression. The second time just changes slightly, and you alternate between the first time and the second time. The discrepancy between the first and the second progression is simply the last chord. Instead of sliding up to your 9th fret, you're going to instead place your middle finger on the 6th fret of your low E string, your ring on the 6th fret of your A, and your first finger on the 4th fret of your D string. And you're going to do this strumming pattern. Like that. So in context, do that with me. Again. A little faster now. Now in context with the first piece of the chord progression, do that with me. Okay, congratulations. That is the hardest part of this song. Moving on, we have the pre-chorus. We start with our first finger barring across the 9th fret of our D, G, and B strings. And strumming wise, we are just aggressively going down, up, 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 kind of thing. Like that. So for the last 4 strums of this measure, if you will, we switch chords to a D shape, where you're going to be placing your first finger on the 6th fret of our G string, our ring finger on the 7th fret of our B string, and our middle finger on the 6th fret of our high E. And you strum that down, up, down, up. So down, up, 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 down, up. Then you switch to this chord, down, up, down, up. Okay, I'll play those two together. Do that with me. And then you go up to a D minor shape where you're putting your middle finger on the 8th fret of our G string, our third finger on the 9th fret of our B, and our first finger on the 7th fret of our high E. Strum just like the first chord. So the first 3 together. And Do that with me. And right here we have a little walk down from the 11th fret of our high E to the 9th fret of our high E, the 12th fret of our B, to the 11th fret of our B. So, like that. So far. And then right here we go back to the first chord, but it's not interrupted by anything. You just strum it out, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, and so on and so forth. Like that. So the whole pre-chorus sounds like this. And that leads you into the chorus. Do that with me. Chorus time. We start with a B major chord. To play a B major chord, we are first going to bar across the 7th fret of all of our strings with our index finger. Then our third finger will go on the 9th fret of our A string. Our pinky right below that on the 9th fret of our D, and our middle finger on the 8th fret of our G. That is a B major chord. The second chord we have is a C shape F sharp major chord. It sounds a little bit more complicated than it really is. What we're going to do is put our pinky finger on the 9th fret of our A string, our third finger on the 8th fret of our D, our first finger on the 6th fret of our G, and our middle finger on the 7th fret of our B. That's a C shape F sharp major chord. So you're going from a B major to an F sharp major chord. Then for the third chord, I will show you the slightly simplified way and then the harder yet more accurate way of playing it. So you'll place your first finger on the 6th fret of our D string, our third finger on the 8th fret of our G string, and then our pinky finger on the 9th fret of our B string. That's the third chord. Now, that's not too hard of a stretch. The correct way of playing it is the way they play it on the recording. Instead of placing your third finger and your pinky finger on the G and B, you're instead going to use your middle finger on that 8th fret of your G string, your third finger, your ring finger, on the 9th fret of your B string, and then that just frees up your pinky to be able to play the 11th fret of your high E string. So. Kind of thing. So the strumming pattern is going to be very similar to the pre-chorus. So down, up, 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 down, up. With the emphasis on the down, up, 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 like that. So. Do that with me. So that is like the bulk of the song. There's just a few little things that come in at the tail end of this song that I wanted to show you. The first being this little arpeggiated thing. To play that, you're going to place your third finger on the 13th fret of your G string, your middle finger on the 12th fret of our B, and your first finger on the 11th fret of your high E string. And you're going to pick it E, B, G, E, B, G, like that. And then you change chords so that your index finger is on the 9th fret of your high E, your pinky is on the 11th fret of your B string, and your third finger is on the 11th fret of your G. Same picking pattern. So then you go right back up to the first chord. But this one you just play E, B, G, E, like that. So like that. Do that with me. Again. Good, and then we just have some unison bends for literally the last line of the song. You will put your third finger on the 10th fret of your B string, and your first finger, your index finger, on the 7th fret of your high E. And what you do is you bend up the B string without bending up the E. And when you bend up the B string, you bend it up a full step. Like that. And then you do the same exact thing, just down a fret. You just shift this whole hand down a fret so that your third finger is on the 9th fret of your B string and your first finger is on the 6th fret of your high E. You do the exact same thing up where your third finger is up on the 14th fret of your B string and your first finger is on the 11th fret of your high E. Like that. So you have and then you do the first two again. And then we have the last chord where we're going to place our third finger on the 9th fret of our high E, our middle finger on the 9th fret of our B string, and your first finger on the 8th fret of your G. And you just strum that chord. If you wish, you could bend it up, down, back up, down, and then off. Like, that's kind of how he got that sound at the end of the song. So if I play that unison section, play along with me. And that is how you play Snow. If you have a song request, please let me know. If you wish to be notified of future videos, hit the bell. I sincerely hope that you are well. Please do me a favor and hit that like button blue. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe too. I hope this video has been a blessing. You've been watching Logan's Lessons.